struck with awe, we hear this question: and how does this happen to me? How does this happen to me? When Elizabeth hears Mary's greeting, she's overwhelmed by wonder, completely amazed, filled with this joy. Elizabeth, sensing John the Baptist leap within her womb, she experiences firsthand the mystery of Emmanuel, literally God among us. Wonder, amazement, and joy. There in that moment, Elizabeth is struck in the company of Mary, who brings to her literally God. She reacts awestruck at this reality. We know it as the second joyful mystery, the visitation. For us to ask, in our lives, has there ever been an event, a time or place, that I came to recognize and know the mystery of God's love and presence reaching me? Is there something I would consider my visitation from God? Have I ever been overwhelmed by that good news of Emmanuel, that God literally, truly became man, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bones? That is a memory worth recalling, a memory worth articulating, being ready to share to those who need to know the joy of our God. You just think, Elizabeth, she'd never forget this occasion of her infant leaping in her womb. She'd never forget that greeting of her cousin Mary. How is it that the mother of my Lord, my God, should come to visit me? You know, from outer appearances, this would just look like an ordinary event. A cousin coming to visit a cousin. You know, just coming to the door. From the outside, you wouldn't be struck. In our lives, perhaps the event of God coming to meet me, this profound encounter, it might seem utterly ordinary and simple. But for me, that's where I came to know God and His presence among me. Maybe it was, for us, a particular Mass that we were attending, and we were struck by God's grace, knowing His presence here among us. Maybe it was a conversation I had with somebody that had a profound and life-changing effect on how I saw God and saw my life. Maybe it was something I came across that I read, and in a new way, deep within me, I knew that God has come to be among us. Each of us should be able to articulate, to cherish the visitations that God has made to us throughout our life, to recall, to be ready to share those. For me, I'd share a certain occasion among many. Often it's many occasions over time that build our faith. But one of those moments, it was a Saturday morning, was when I was in my third year of college, back in 2007. But I was back home on a Saturday, and the church that my sister was attending had organized this morning for prayer, sort of like retreat day. And so I made my way, and while I was there in that time, I was prompted to go into the Bible, the scriptures. I was led to go to the Gospel of John. And I began right there in the beginning, chapter 1. Began to read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." As I kept reading, by God's grace, coming to verse 14, and being absolutely awestruck at these words reaching me. "And the Word was made flesh and made his dwelling among us." At that moment, like no moment to that point in my life, I was overwhelmed with this reality that the God of our universe came to walk this very earth, took flesh, became a man as I am a man, in order to save us, to save me. And as soon as this happened, kind of like Mary, her greeting reaching Elizabeth, like the words of this gospel reaching my heart, everything changed. Everything changed. That is sort of visitation, an encounter with God that one can hold on to, remember, and express to others. And so once again, the day of Christ's coming, his birth is coming near. And for us to awaken, and to seek anew that wonder, that awe, that joy, that God has come, that he has made his dwelling among us. What a gift to know how good and how near is our God.